All right, the time is now 6 p.m. Our regular city council meeting for July 15, 2025 is now in session. First on the agenda is Councilmember Macaluso will lead us with the opening prayer and the pledges of allegiance to the flags of the United States and the state of Texas. Please rise.
Father God, I thank you for your presence. I ask that you bless us at this meeting today and continue to provide comfort to the families dealing with the tragedy and loss from the floods. Please also provide protection to our first responders and the other volunteers as they continue to work through the damage. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
All right, we had the proclamation to be read before, but we'll read that one after the city events and announcements. Announcements of upcoming events. Is that Ms. Gonzalez or Mr. James?
Okay, I apologize about that. So we have some things going on appropriate that our parks team and crew are here. We have a couple of parks items going on Friday, July 25th, music and movies in the park, 8 p.m. at Wendy Swan Memorial Park. And the film that we'll be showing to have some Christmas in July is Elf. On Saturday, July 26th, it'll be the mini golf at the library, at Schertz Library, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is free, so encourage everybody to come check that out. On Sunday, July 27th, is Owl Prowl at Crescent Bend Nature Park, and that starts at 8:30 p.m. And then on Friday, August 1st, we'll have our council budget retreat, which begins at 8:30 a.m. here in the council chambers. And then finally, the last thing is the next regularly scheduled city council meeting is going to be on Tuesday, August 5th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez. Announcements and recognitions by our city manager, Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. We did have one promotion this month, and it was Hector Castro was promoted to the rank of police officer to sergeant. And also, I want to give a big shout out and kudos to our staff for the excellent work they did on the 4th of July for our Jubilee. Many of them are in the room tonight, but all departments chipped in, and it is a long day, and they give up their holiday so we can all have a great holiday in this community, and I think they do a fantastic job every year. I also want to say thank you and acknowledge the work done by our EMS department, sending our ambulance as well as 2 ambulances and a strike team up to the flood affected areas, as well as our police department, our fire department sending a swift rescue boat, and our emergency manager, Brandon High, who has been there for the entire duration of the time that this has occurred, as well as our police department sending some folks up there to help do search and recovery. So kudos to all of them for chipping in and helping our region. And I'm proud of the fact that our employees and the city of Schertz is actively involved in our regional response groups that do step in and do a great job when they're needed. So, and that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Announcements and recognitions by the mayor. No, I do have a couple of things I'd like to say. I want to take this moment to express how incredibly proud I am of our EMS and our fire department who responded to the floods at Kerrville. Their courage, their professionalism, and their selfless dedication during a time of crisis. It's just incredible to see. They didn't hesitate, they acted. And I just want to say thank you for showing what true service is like. Appreciate it so much. I also want to say, since we have the Parks and Recreation Committee and crew here, the 4th of July, incredible celebration. It couldn't happen. But I just want to say that quality of life is very important. And that's what the Parks and Recreation Committee and team provide, is that quality of life, that extra thing that brings smiles to the people of our residents in our community. And that's why I wanted you to stay here a little longer before we read the proclamation, because I didn't want you to scatter out the door. But I want to just express my gratitude for all the work that you do. With that, we'll go on to our proclamation. Councilmember Guerrero will be reading the proclamation for our Parks and Recreation Month. And if I can have all the staff and the members of the committee please come up here and join us.
Everybody? All right. Park and Recreation Month, July 2025. Whereas Parks and Recreation is an integral part of the communities throughout this country, including the city of Schertz. And whereas Parks and Recreation promote health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks. And whereas Parks and Recreation promote time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's disease. Whereas Parks and Recreation encourage physical activities by providing space for popular sports, hiking trails, swimming pools, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. And whereas Parks and Recreation is a leading provider of healthy meals, nutrition services, and education. And whereas Parks and Recreation programming and education activities such as out-of-school time programming, youth sports, environmental education are critical to child development. And whereas Parks and Recreation increases a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of business, and crime reduction. And whereas Parks and Recreation is fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community. And whereas Parks and Recreation is essential and adaptable infrastructure that makes our communities resilient in the face of natural disasters and climate change. Whereas Parks and natural recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. Whereas the House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month. Whereas the city of Schertz recognizes the benefits derived from the Parks and Recreation resources. Now, therefore, Mayor of Schertz proclaims July 1 through 31, 2025 National Park and Recreation Month in the city of Schertz. He calls upon the residents of this city to observe this month by getting out and enjoying the beautiful parks in the city of Schertz. Signed, Mayor Ralph Gutierrez. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Guerrero. My name is Lauren Schrum. I'm Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Schertz. This month's theme, this year's theme is Build Together, Play Together. It's really a reminder every year of the contributions of more than 160,000 full-time Parks and Recreation professionals across the country, along with hundreds of thousands of part-time, seasonal, and volunteers who you see up here today who maintain our country's close-to-home parks. So each July we celebrate them and how they improve the lives of tens of millions of people, making a lasting impact in their communities. I want to thank everybody here today who came to support our proclamation. These folks dedicate countless hours to serve the community through our programs. We estimate over 22,000 hours of service are volunteered through our youth programs, youth sports programs. We estimate about 1,800 hours of volunteer service in our senior center. We have over 18,000 visits to our Pickerel pool. We have 995 bookings in our civic and community centers. We serve over 15,000 meals at our senior center. We host over 41 events and programs in our city. And we maintain 457 acres of parkland and 25 miles of trail. This is a big task with a big impact on the community. And I want to thank the volunteers and the wonderful staff in the city that we have. We wouldn't be able to do it with all these folks who make this happen. Want to especially call out our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board members here tonight, Elizabeth Wiley and Robert Sheridan. We have some CISA members, Dora Boyle, Jason Hernandez, Michelle Hernandez, Senior Center Director Yashika Warrior, our master naturalists, Carolyn Wolfert and Mark Klewitz. Thank you for all the time you put into Parks and Recreation in the City of Schertz. Thank you to the staff. In the theme also of building together, we've got a lot of exciting capital projects coming up over the next couple of years. Thank you to the EDC for the $12 million investment in Schertz Parks and quality of life projects. We're really excited for the future. Want to thank the spouses here today as well. They spend a lot of time while their families are away working on holidays, 4th of July being an example. And we're so excited to have all the Parks and Rec babies here with us tonight. They're the future. We have a spot saved for you guys when you're ready to work. Thank you so much.
Got it.
Good job, Jared.
Okay, next on the agenda is the hearing of residents. This time is set aside for any person who wishes to address the city council. Each person is limited for 3 minutes, and we ask before addressing the council, please provide your name and address. Mayor Pro Tem, please call our first speaker.
The first one is Maggie Titterington.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. A lot of things going on this week. We just had our monthly chamber luncheon and graduation of leadership core class today. Thank you, Mayor, for attending. That always makes the businesses in the area so happy to see you and mingling with them and sitting with them. So thank you so much for coming. We have 2 ribbon cuttings this week on the 17th and the 18th, both at 10 a.m., both at the Kramer House. So if you are able to come, that would be awesome. Very much appreciate that. We have also set the time, and I know the applications haven't gone out yet for open city council positions or school board, but we have already set the date for Meet the Candidates hosted by the Chamber. It's going to be October 8th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 at the Bluebonnet Room in the Schertz Civic Center. We will be doing both persons that are running for council and school board. Subsequently, on the next Wednesday, on the 15th, we will be doing the Cibolo Council and then the Green Valley SUD that I believe they have 2 members that are up for re-election too. So however many people are there, we have a couple sponsors on the sidelines that I hope to announce the next time I'm before you, but very excited to provide this service again for our cities. Last but not least, I just wanted to let you know, Mayor, I know we've had conversations. I just wanted to give a shout out and kudos to Frontier. I know the transition has been hard, and we had a lot of businesses call because their dumpsters were taken away, 3009, Tropical Smoothie, Abel's and stuff, and we were able to work, and as soon as they found out that their dumpsters had been taken in the morning, they were unaware there was supposed to be a schedule. Chris Cox had jumped in there, and I would say probably within hours of that same day, the dumpsters were taken out, because that could be a really bad situation with restaurants and everything. But as far as I know, the businesses that have been reporting back to me, they've made the transition, they have the correct dumpsters. Chris has been like Johnny on the spot on his cell phone, giving out his number. Myself in Fairhaven, where I live, we just loved to see the bulk pickup. It happened a week or so ago, and there's been this unsightly pool leavings on the side of the street coming into Copper's Cove, and it's been there, I'd say, for about a month. And this big, huge truck came, and it was like a claw. It was kind of fascinating, kind of a geek that way. But yeah, it took it all away, and so that's every other week. And I just went to the HOA meeting last night, and the president and the other members of the board were very happy about how things were going. So I just wanted to let you know our neighborhood seems to be running smoothly, and our businesses in the city of Schertz seem to be satisfied. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Kumbangi, for those comments.
Daniel Jamerson.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and staff. Again, it's breakfast time. Dan Jameson, we're representing the VFW 1000 FM 78. Can't miss it if you look for a big old howitzer and a M60A1 tank from Vietnam era, it's out front. So we ask everybody to come out. We've upped the price to $12 a plate, all you can eat, eggs to order. You can't beat the price. You go to Denny's or even IHOP, try to get the same meal. You're gonna pay 15, 20 bucks or even more for the same price, a kind of meal. So please come out, support the VFW. These are veterans who are cooking for you. And our first responders, please, you guys, if you're in uniform, on duty, come get a quick meal before you go out on a run. Same way with the police department, fire department. You guys come out. You guys are more than welcome. And Chief Lowry, I know you're around. If you get a call, say we got a big red truck taking up multiple parking, illegally parked, come give it a ticket. It's only one of your fire trucks. Thank you.
Callie DeSena.
If you can speak in the mic and name and address, please.
Mayor and council, hi. I actually wanted to put something on the next agenda, and it's revolving animal cruelty cases and neglect and things that Schertz, I think, as a growing city, is starting to overlook. We're starting to get a lot more people in, and San Antonio is starting to up its game, and I really think that we need to start matching that. There's a lot of ambiguity in how the law is written, and I feel like Schertz could be a proponent in pushing forward stronger protections for people and, animals and things that can't protect themselves. So as an advocate, I wanted to put that on an agenda at some point to visit. That's it.
Could you provide your name and address, please?
Callie DeSena, 3049 Muntjac.
Thank you.
Way that way. And that's it. Thank you.
Barbara Palamo.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I wanted to present something that happened to me in February. I was, and I might get emotional because it was pretty traumatic for me. I was attacked by a dog on February 26th, and there was a police report made. There was the dog, the animal shelter eventually took the dog, and I also made a police report to the owner who assaulted me. And I've been going through this now since February. And I haven't really been served by the peace officers or the animal shelter officer as I think I should have. I've returned calls to the crime victims unit. Every time I call, you can't leave a message. The machine is full. Right now, I'm going through small claims court over this whole incident. I've got scarring that is never going to heal. And I've been calling and trying to stay in contact with city officials, and I'm just not pleased with the outcome. And I have some documentation here, and it's pretty disappointing because I was born and raised in this area. And the neighbor and the dog that both attacked me and actually that dog bit my dogs is 4 doors down from me. He drives by my house. I had to file a call for the police for them to document the harassment. At first, the police would not come out. It took me 3 phone calls and 3 peace officers to finally get somebody to return my phone call. I had witnesses. They said witnesses weren't enough, that unless an officer is present, they could not actually document what was going on. And so here we are. So I've got a small claims court. I've got all my paperwork, which I'll leave with you to view. And I just wanted everyone to be aware of what happened. I live just a couple of blocks from here on 700 Maple Drive. And I'm a proud resident. And I typically wouldn't come to City Council for this, but I felt that it was warranted. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. If you can see the chief back there and provide the documentation that you have, and he will take a closer look at the information you have.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, that's all.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Temp. All right, we have consent agenda items are considered self-explanatory, and information packets are provided to the council and available for public viewing. These items require no separate discussion unless requested by council. Item number 1, minutes. Item number 2, appointments, reappointments, and resignations of City of Schertz boards, commissions, and committees. Item number 3, resolution number 25R081. Item number 4, resolution number 25R087. Item number 5, resolution number 25R088. Item number 6, resolution number 25R089. Item number 7, resolution number 25R090. Item number 8, resolution number 25R093. And item number 9, resolution number 25R095. Council, do any of these need to be removed for separate action? Councilmember Westbrook.
Item number 8, resolution 25R093.
Okay. Council, any others? Is there a motion to approve consent agenda items 1 through 7 and 9?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion made by Councilmember Watson and second by Councilmember Brown. Council, any other comments? Please cast your vote. I'm not seeing anything on the screen. Is it being captured? Okay. We have some difficulties, so we'll just call it down. We'll go down the aisle. Councilmember, we'll start with Councilmember Watson.
Yes.
Okay. Councilmember Macaluso.
Yes.
Councilmember Guerrero.
Yes.
Councilmember Westbrook.
Yes.
Councilmember Hayward.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, no objection, motion passes. All right, we'll move back to item number 8. Item number 8, resolution number 25R093, authorization of an interlocal agreement with 791 Purchasing Cooperative. All right, Councilmember Westbrook, you had questions concerning this.
Yep. Thank you very much for showing up. So first, 2 reasons really why. The first reason was I thought it was a large enough financial imprint to sort of ask questions about it. And 2, well, I forgot the second reason, but it was a financial imprint really that moving forward. So I had some questions about it, especially in light of the contract we had with the trash. So you want me to just go down my list of questions, or you want to answer them one by one?
We can go, yeah, however you want to work, sir.
All right. Let me do it this way. Let me read them off, and then we can go back to the top, and you can answer them as will. And fair enough?
Right, yeah.
All right, thanks. So what is the anticipated cost savings or financial benefit to the city of Schertz by participating in the 791 purchasing cooperative compared to traditional cooperatives, to a traditional competitive bidding methods? Has a cost-benefit analysis been conducted comparing the cooperative purchasing prices to prices obtained through direct RFPs or bids? If so, can that be shared with the council in public? How will participation in this cooperative with the city's annual procurement budget and long-term financial planning? While cooperative purchasing satisfies the competitive bidding requirement under Texas law, how does the city ensure that the cooperative's vendors maintain competitive and fair pricing? What oversight mechanisms are in place to ensure vendors in the 791 cooperative meet the city's standards for quality, reliability, and service? Are there limitations on the types or values of purchases that can be made through the cooperative versus issuing a separate RFP? What other cooperative purchasing organizations or alternatives were considered before selecting the 791 purchasing cooperative? What criteria were used in this evaluation? Are there local or regional purchasing cooperatives that might better serve church-specific needs or provide more advantageous terms? And I think, how will the city report or communicate to the public the types of purchases made through the cooperatives and the realized savings or efficiencies? I think, one, it's the financial imprint to the city of Schertz, and two, it was the longevity of it. This is 10 years. This is a 10-year contract. That's a pretty significant period of time for us to enter in something and not have at least a discussion or information submitted to the city council.
Yes, Councilman. Well, the biggest benefit of using any purchasing cooperative is that you're able to engage in the already conducted RFPs that have been competitively bid. And you're using economies of scale with this. Instead of us going out as one entity and saying, we might want to buy, let's say, a vehicle from you, they're going out and saying all of these members of our cooperative may come and purchase a good or a service through you. So they tend to be able to obtain better pricing as a group purchasing than us individually. And as far as the financial obligation, there is no financial obligation. We're under no obligation to make any purchases or enter into any number of contracts. Obviously, we intend to, or we wouldn't be here trying to join, but there's no minimum fiscal obligation year over year. And as of current, we are a member of 13 other co-ops to include such as Buyboard, Tips, Savic, Goodbye, Sourcewell, and many others.
So remember, so we don't have to use it. So worst case scenario, if we didn't have to use it, we don't have to use them whatsoever. So theoretically, for the next 10 years, if we never use their services, there's no negative side effect to the city of Schertz.
Correct. We're under no obligation to use them once we become a member, and then we can cancel if we decide we don't want to use them for some reason.
What's the, so remember 13 other cooperatives. What does this cooperative provide that the other ones do not?
So each cooperative reaches out to vendors to try to obtain various contracts, and a lot of them tend to specialize in certain things. Savic, for example, offers a lot of EMS and emergency service type contract. Tips is a lot of fleet and fleet management stuff. This one, for example, is a lot of their contracts resolve in bulk fuel, energy products and services, government consulting, furniture, fleet services, repair and maintenance. And what brought this cooperative to our attention was we had a department reach out to us that's wanting to engage into a contract with a vendor that is a part of this cooperative.
Fair enough.
Looking into it, it's just one more tool we could have in our toolbox to use going forward when we need to acquire goods and services.
How often do we use the other cooperatives?
I know buy board is our big one. That one is used almost on a daily basis, and we just done an audit of it, and I think there's roughly about a $40,000 rebate coming in because they offer a rebate. This one, I don't believe they offer a rebate, but again, you're getting that bulk discount that they've acquired through their contract.
Thank you. I don't think we went one by one, but you answered my main concern, so I do appreciate the information. Thank you, sir.
Council, any other comments?
I will offer, I think Daniel did an excellent job answering the questions, but I will offer it does save us time and expense and getting potentially a lower price a lot of times, but even if it's an equal prices, we could do it ourselves through the RFP process. You have the advertising, you have the staff time, all of those things, that time and expense that goes with administering a month and a half, 2 month long RFP or RFQ or bid process.
But even if a contract was over 50,000, it'd still come over to council anyway.
And that was going to be my next point. You will see anything that's in excess of the state requirement come before the council for approval.
Okay, Councilmember Guerrero.
Just to recap, did you state that if the services are not used, there's no
Yeah,
charge?
there's no financial obligation. It's almost like saying we get a Walmart membership that we could go into Walmart and shop if we want to, but we don't have to purchase anything through them.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Councilmember Brown.
Yeah, these cooperatives are common along a lot of government agencies, and I know that they're very much a money-saving value at the end of the day, as well as what Steve was saying there. It saves our purchasing folks a lot of time and effort that they don't have to go through separate, bidding wars, et cetera, just to get the same price that they're going to get by going through the co-op. So, having said that, I make a motion that we approve Resolution 25R-093.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Councilmember Brown, second by Councilmember Hayward. Councilmember Westbrook, you still have the question?
Yes, Mayor. I would like to point out that maybe a month or two ago, I think there was a modification to the generator contract that was $70,000 that was placed on the consent agenda. So not everything over $50,000 is automatically brought. I know it was sort of a modification to an existing thing, but that $50,000 limit is, well, it's not set in fast, because for the generators, it was $70,000 and that was placed on the consent agenda. So that's all I'm saying.
Yes, but it's still brought up to council.
Yes, but there's a difference between being on the consent agenda and having a discussion and having a presentation. From my viewpoint, that's it.
I understand your point, but it can always be pulled out also, so
Yeah.
it's just like this one. But the motion's been made by Councilmember Brown, second by Mayor Pro Tem Hayward. Council, any other comments? Please cast your vote. I still see a malfunction in our voting, so we'll go with Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilmember Macaluso?
Aye.
Aye.
Councilmember Westbrook?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Hayward?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, no objections, motion passes.
I think we've voted so much electronically, we've forgotten how to do it, man. Verbally.
Okay, it's not clearing. Yeah. If you could go ahead and publish the vote and see if that works for me? Okay, thank you. All right, so we'll move on. We have item number 9. No, I'm sorry, item number 10. Resolution number 25R091, authorizing an application to the Texas Division of Emergency Management, TDEM, for hazardous mitigation grant program. Chief, floor is yours.
Evening, Mayor, Council, and Mr. Williams. I don't know that we're going to be able to work on, oh wait, there you go. Okay. No, I can't do it from here. He's actually running it, so I have to give him hand signals or something anyway. So tonight I come to you and asking for your permission to allow City Manager Steve Williams to submit on behalf of the city grant to the Texas Division of Emergency Management for a generator that in this particular case would support public safety. The one that we have right now is very old. It requires a lot of excess maintenance. And so we have an opportunity to refresh that and actually get one that's a little stronger and can handle a little bit more. We've been very fortunate for it not to fail us during times that we've needed it, but it has struggled with maintenance and repair when we haven't. Go ahead, Benny. There we go. So as I said, very similar to last week, this is Homeland Security, long-term mitigation measures and disaster declaration. So if you can only imagine something with the Cibolo Creek relative to what's going on with Guadalupe and Guadalupe and Colorado rivers, this would be very beneficial to us, much like also during Snowmageddon when we relied on that for a long period of time. Go ahead. So on this particular grant, it is a 25% grant. We're doing it for $325,000. This number was obtained through a process that Internal Services did and brought someone in to do a study and said this is the size of machine you would need in order to meet the demand, plus I believe like 20%. So the number they projected was $325,000. Out of that, were we to get this, our requirement would be to pay $81,250. The rest would be picked up through the federal grant process. Much like we talked about previously, the application is coming due before long. It'll go in the review process and we'll be notified. We probably will not know about this particular one before the end of the budget process this year. Questions?
All right, thank you, Chief. All right, Council, floor is open for discussion. Councilmember Guerrero.
Chief, you mentioned that that it would be stronger, better than the one that you guys have now. How would you? What are some examples of that?
Well, when that particular unit was put in, while the technology was not as efficient, there was not near as much. So the draw and the demand on the system over the course of time of things that we've added is greater, and therefore, do I think something similar in size would meet? Yes, but the standard in today's world is to add the 20% buffer for whatever event that you exceeded what has been estimated, you would still have that in reserve.
Gotcha. And I also like the 25-75 split. I like that.
Trying to do our part.
Thank you.
Councilmember Watson.
I motion that we approve Resolution 25R091.
Second.
Have a motion made by Councilmember Watson, second by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Hayward. Council, any other comments? Please cast your vote.
Aye.
Broken, he said.
It's working.
It's working now?
Is it?
Okay.
We can publish the vote, please. We have 6 ayes, no objection. Motion passes. Right. We have item number 11, resolution number 25R092. Yes.
Mayor, if I may, real quick, just so folks know and folks watching in the audience, we're having lots of different issues that come in and out. So just to be clear, it may seem like it works for a moment, and as soon as it's done, it goes away. It's like during the presentation, it went away from your screens and to crank your neck. So we're just having a lot of glitchiness with it tonight. So stuff may seem to work and then stop work. We appreciate everyone's patience.
All right. We'll play it by the way it comes, the way it's pitched.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right. Item number 11, resolution number 25R092, authorizing an application to the Texas Division of Emergency Management, TDEM, for the Hazardous Mitigation Grant Program. Chief.
Thank you. Good evening. Greg Rogers, Fire Chief. I come before you this evening, Mayor, Council, Mr. Williams, to ask the City Manager for his allowing him to submit this grant in the same fashion we did the previous one. However, this one's expanded in a greater fashion. And when you look at the numbers, go ahead, Benny. One more. It's the same process there. It's a greater number that we got to $985,000 total. However, we resubmitted in this process the public safety generator again in the event that we did not get it on the first submission. So we wanted to take two shots at it. Should we get it in the first submission, obviously we would subtract $325,000 off of this one, and our commitment of the 25% would go down the $81,000 respectively, getting us roughly $165,000 that would be the city's commitment in that process. There you go. I think we got that one.
All right.
Any questions?
All right, council, floor is open for discussion. Mayor Pro Tem Hayward.
I'd just like to say I commend the fire department for going after the grants and being proactive in getting the things that we need as a city, or you need it in your position, and making the fire department bigger, better, and stronger. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, it takes a lot of people. It's not just us. While we may have the lead on the process, there's a lot of people that support it to make us get to this point. So, but thank you. I will pass that along.
All right, Councilmember Guerrero.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 25R092.
Second.
We have a motion made by Councilmember Guerrero and second by Councilmember Watson. Council, any other comments? If none, please cast your vote. We can publish the vote, please. We have 6 ayes, no objections. Motion passes. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you all. Have a great evening.
All right, we have item number 12, ordinance number 25B031, consideration and approval of the City Council of the City of Schertz, Texas, authorizing the issuance of the City of Schertz, Texas Combination Tax and Limitation Pledge Revenue Certificate of Obligation Series 2025, providing for the payment and set certificates by the levy of an ad valorem tax upon all taxable property within the city, and further securing set certificates by a lien on the pledge of the pledged revenues of the system and other matters incident and related thereto. This is the first and final reading. Mr. Walters, floor is yours.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is James Walters. I'm the Finance Director here for the City of Schertz. Today we had a bond sale leading up for that $56 million that we have been working on for the past few months. We issued a notice of intent to issue these bonds. We published in the paper for a couple of weeks, letting the public know that this was coming up. And today we actually got the quotes from potential buyers to purchase these bonds. And though the best of it, the best price is in front of you today, I'll introduce Andrew Friedman with from Samco to go over the overall bidding process. But ultimately, we got a really good rate. We're very proud with the rate. And just a reminder that the projects funded by these were listed in the CIP plan, and the bonds were structured in a way to not raise taxes. So this is within our allotted capacity. And so we believe the tax rate will remain the same even after this sale. And for the water and sewer portion, these items were also considered in the 5-year rate study that we had conducted previously as well. So again, we don't expect any financial change, in part when we've already realized and put into our projections. And we're very happy with how the sale came out. And I'll turn over to Andrew to kind of go over the items. And luckily, he brought hand copies, so just in case the computer system decided to get finicky, we do have some items that we do have some paper copies that was handed out to you so we can look over the items.
Thank you very much, James. Andrew Friedman with Samco Capital Markets, financial advisor to the city. Mr. Walters did a great job of summarizing all the steps we've taken to get here and ultimately the results of the certificates of obligation for your approval this evening. To take a step back, the city authorized that notice of intention for all of the projects that are described in your council memo. You then engaged with 3 investment banks to work as your syndicate of underwriters, and they went into the market today. Over the course of the last several days, we've been in communication with the underwriting syndicate as they were visiting with their customers. We've had an improvement in the interest rates, meaning the yields came down by the time we got their final bid to underwrite around 11 a.m. today. And so that is what's before you for approval. As part of the issuance process, and for those of you that are new on council since we last sold debt, we go and get a credit rating from one of the major credit rating institutions in municipal bonds, Standard & Poor's. We went through a call with them, reviewing the local economy, the financial practices and performance of the city. Very pleased to report the city maintains its AA+ credit rating. That's one level below a AAA, which is the highest you can get. We're actually on par with the United States federal government with that AA+ credit rating. What that allows us to do is to sell our debt as cheaply as possible, generating the lowest interest rate that we can. Mr. Williams, Mr. Walters, and all of your senior staff attended that call, prepared for it, did an excellent job. That credit rating report is available with the city. It highlights a lot of great things. One, we're a very fast growth city facing a lot of infrastructure needs, hence the need for debt, which in and of itself isn't a bad thing. It's really the only way that cities can fund the capital improvements that are necessary. But they highlight really strong management practices, meaning that from a policy perspective, you all have strong policies to control costs, to conserve resources. You've also got a city administration that very diligently monitors the budget's performance throughout the year, allowing us to maintain very healthy reserves, which credit rating agencies and bond investors are very concerned with and keep a watchful eye on. So y'all are doing all of the right things. The interest rates that you're able to garner in the market are reflective of that. And I don't intend to go through these numbers in great detail, but if you have questions, I certainly want to answer them. From the just first page, if you all approve these COs tonight, the funds will be delivered on August 13th. It'll be $28.8 million for the general fund projects and $27.6 million for utility fund projects. That's net of all the costs of issuance, the underwriter's discount, which is what that syndicate of investment banks is charging in order to underwrite this bonded CO issue, excuse me. Behind that, you can see the bond pricing page, which outlines the 20-year amortization for these COs, both by the coupon rate and the yield on the bonds. The interest rates we're paying over these 20 years range from 2.64% to 4.78%, and we'll be able to call these from bond investors February 1st of 2034. So if we've got lower interest rates then, we can refinance these much like you would refinance a mortgage, your home mortgage. Behind those, we've got the annual debt service schedule, which Mr. Walters is using to put into the budget that will be brought to you all for the next fiscal year. Again, these are payable annually over the course of 20 years. And then we've got separate schedules for general fund and utility funds so that the appropriate fund's paying its proportionate share of debt for the improvements it's benefiting from. And then the last thing I'll point out on the last page, that true interest cost, which is another way of saying the average interest rate on this financing, came in at 4.37%. When we were working on the pro forma analysis, the tax rate impact analysis in preparation for this, we try to be conservative. We ran those numbers at 5%, and that wasn't going to cause a tax increase or a utility rate increase, so we're coming in much better than expected, and that's intentional. We want to be conservative in the planning phase, and so we've come in at 4.37%. We've had the markets in our favor the last couple of weeks, so we're able to take advantage of that coincidentally before this meeting tonight. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Mr. Walters or Mr. Williams, if I've left anything out, I'm happy to cover that as well. But very pleased with the performance of the underwriting syndicate and the result that we're able to bring to you tonight.
Thank you so much. All right, council, floor is open for discussion. Questions? Councilmember Macaluso.
Where are we in comparison with past bonds in terms of interest rate or the coupon rate that you have?
Relative to bonds we've sold in the past, interest rates today are higher than they were if you were to look back at 2020, 2021, where interest rates were lower. Just generally, when you think about where the Federal Reserve was going into or coming out of COVID, they dropped their Fed funds rate to 0. So we had interest rates that were much lower, closer to 2.75% to 3%. On a historical perspective, going back, over the course of, decades, 4.37% is a great rate. But I don't know that these are certainly not the most expensive bonds that the city has ever sold. But over the last 5 years, it's on the upper end of that, and that's indicative of the overall financial markets, has nothing to do with the city's credit rating or otherwise.
Councilmember Guerrero.
This is for you. You stated that the tax rate will remain the same, but then you said you believe that it will stay the same. So will it stay the same, or it may stay the same?
That'll be up for, I mentioned that we recalculate the rate every year when we bring it to council through the truth and taxation procedures, looking at our new values and what we could fund. Now, if the city grew faster than what we anticipated, the rate will drop. If the city grew the exact same rate and we did the exact same interest rate, then the rate would remain the same. Since we came in under, and we're still growing, I believe the tax rate will remain the same or drop a little bit for the debt side.
So I guess it just depends.
It will depend, and I won't have an exact answer for you now, but it will not be going up.
Thank you.
Councilmember Westbrook.
Yeah, so best case scenario, let's just say interest rates just go super low like they were years ago. Is there an opportunity to refinance or anything like that?
Yes, sir. The bonds, these COs, will be callable in 2034. And what that allows us to do is, at that time, we can refund them or pay them off with cash. But the bonds have to remain outstanding for those 9 years. That's a protection for bond investors. It's a standard call option, as how that's referred, and that's standard at that 9 to 10 year mark that we have to provide for investors. Otherwise, the interest rate we would pay to have a shorter call would be much more expensive in terms of the interest rate we would pay on the debt.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Councilmember Brown.
Yeah, I was just going to say, a few years ago, we did refinance some bonds and save some considerable amount of money. So, I know that works. And I know that we'll see that in the future. At least I hope so.
We did a lot of bond refinancings over the first 15 years that I've worked with the city, and then as interest rates have gone up and we've sold and taken advantage of that, we have limited opportunities because the bonds that we've sold really since 2018 or so, the interest rates are so low, we would have to see them even lower than they frankly were during COVID in order to refinance them. But we certainly monitor that year in and year out for you all.
Yeah, and appreciate what Samco has helped us with. But having said that, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 25B031.
Second.
Before we make the motion, there's specific
Yep,
language that
sorry.
needs to be read. Our city manager has a few points to make.
No, I just want to offer one clarification. When we're speaking of the tax rate, we're talking about the interest and sinking portion of the tax rate. As you know, your overall tax rate is made up of two components, one for operation and maintenance and one for interest and sinking. We target to keep that the same throughout our 10-year CIP, and that's what we're driving at when we say it'll be the same. So I just want to make that distinction, so if you do see in the future a change in the overall tax rate, it might be for a different reason other than the debt.
Right, and we have specific language that needs to be read, so the motion that was made is nullified because of the language that needs to
Can
be
I
provided.
restate that?
Yes, if you can, please.
I move that the City Council adopt an ordinance authorizing the City of Schertz, Texas, combination tax and limited pledge revenue certificates of obligation, Series 2025.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Councilmember Brown, second by Councilmember Macaluso. Council, any other comments? Please cast your vote. We can publish the vote, please. We have 6 ayes, no objections. Motion passes. Thank you. Which one? Up here?
No.
Down here. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll move on. Item number 13, resolution number 25R082, ordering the November 4th, 2025 City of Schertz joint general election with Comal County, Bexar County, and Guadalupe County, and making a provision for the conduct of elections, authorizing contracts with the county clerk of court of Comal County and the elections administrator of Bexar County and Guadalupe County to conduct this election and authorizing these elections to be held as joint elections. Ms. Edmondson, floor is yours.
Yes, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and City staff. Tonight I bring forward Resolution 25R082, a resolution by the City Council of the City of Schertz calling an election to be held on November 4th, 2025, for the purpose of electing a mayor and council members for Place 1 and Place 2 for a 3-year term and making provision for the conduct of the election, authorizing contracts with the county clerk of Comal County and the election administrators from Bexar County and Guadalupe counties to conduct this election, authorizing the elections to be held as a joint election, resolving other matters incident and related to such election, and declaring an effective date.
Thank you, Ms. Edmondson. All right, Council, floor is open for discussion. Any comments? Councilmember Watson.
I motion that we approve Resolution 25R082.
Second.
A motion made by Councilmember Watson, second by Councilmember Brown. Any other comments? Council, if you can please cast your vote. We can publish the vote, please. We have 6 ayes, no objections, motion passes. All right, we'll move on to our next one. Item number 14, resolution number 25R083, ordering the November 4th, 2025 City of Schertz joint special election with Bexar County and making a provision for the conduct of elections, authorizing contracts with the elections administrator of Bexar County to conduct this special election. Ms. Edmondson, floor is yours.
Yes, good evening again, Mayor, City Council, and City staff. Tonight I bring forward Resolution 25R083, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Schertz calling and ordering a special election for the submission to the qualified voters of a specific area pursuant to Section 43.0117, Texas Local Government Code, the question of whether such area as situated within the City of Schertz extraterritorial jurisdiction and within 5 miles of a joint base San Antonio-Randolph boundary should be annexed into the city, or whether the city shall be provided with the authority to adopt and enforce an ordinance regulating the land use in the area in the manner recommended by the most recent joint land use study, providing for conduct and notice of the election, designating November 4th, 2025 as the date of the special election, prescribing the form of the ballot, designating the polling place, providing for the method of voting, providing for the notice of the election, providing for and other matters relating to such election, and providing an effective date. I would like to just clarify one thing. In Section 2, we wanted to clarify that the resolution and the ballot language, it states the voters will be allowed to choose between either a full-purpose annexation or to provide the municipality with the authority to adopt and enforce an ordinance regulating the land use. So that is very clear, either full or they choose to have the ordinance or the zoning by the city. The second clarification is under Section 10. At the time of the posting, we didn't have an estimate of the cost of the election. Since then, I received a quote approximately about $4,600.
All right, thank you, Ms. Edmondson. Okay, Council, floor is open for discussion.
I make a motion that we approve Resolution 25R-083.
Second.
Have a motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Hayward, second by Councilmember Macaluso. Council, any other comments? Please cast your vote. We can publish the vote, please. We have 6 ayes, no objections, motion passes. All right, we'll move on to item 15. That's a listing of the city department's education-related activities. This is information packets that were provided to council and available for public viewing and available at our website, Schertz.com. With that, we come down to council. Any possible updates or information requested from staff? Seeing none, council, any possible items you'd like to place on the future agenda? None. Okay, announcements. Before I open up for the council, I'd like to make an announcement. You know, our city has made real progress. We have safe neighborhoods, smarter development and economic growth, and a stronger Schertz. And tonight, I'm proud to announce that I will be seeking re-election. There's more work that's ahead, and I'm committed and focused in trying to make Schertz even stronger. With that, council, items of interest or items you attended, Mayor Pro Tem Hayward?
Yes, Mayor. I attended the audit committee and the Northeastern Partnership Luncheon, and just want to let everybody know that if you haven't heard, they are having a special session July 21st of this month, and we thought we were not going to be on the menu, but we are. So stay tuned.
Councilmember Watson.
Attended the audit committee meeting, and then the 4th of July parade.
Councilmember Macaluso.
Attended the TERS meeting and the 4th of July parade and Jubilee festivities.
Councilmember Guerrero.
I attended the parade on the 4th of July and also the gala event from the Happy Kids Foundation.
Okay. Councilmember Westbrook.
I attended the 4th of July parade.
Okay. Councilmember Brown.
I agree with you. Economic development meeting supports everything you're talking about being strong and growing, and the 4th of July parade, once again, wonderful opportunity.
Okay. With that, the time is now 7:02. We stand adjourned.